And if he can land another one here, there's good chances.
Zwyroo going in. Oh, Parus with a great play. Pulls Zwyroo out of it. The Cyclone used by bluerzor as he looked for a little bit more damage, but he can't quite find it. And now Ivo is on the retreat. Flakked diving all the way over the wall, surfing his way away from the battle. But now the Baron started by the Istanbul Wildcats. Zwyroo, no smite for him. He's going to have to burn flash switch to smite or do something to get in there. Can't secure it. He goes in, frozen tombs himself. The hook going down onto Ivo once again. Marlon trying to dive away, but Bao is untouched throughout the entirety of this fight. It's a double for Bao, and he puts around the hula hoop of death, destruction, and decimation for Heretics. Flakked, the last man.
But it's a pick that gives them flexibility, which, you know, could be very valuable later in this game.
It definitely can be. We'll see how these two teams end up butting heads, especially in the early game, because I talked a little bit about how Heretics, if you play through mid and then go down towards the bottom side, it's going to be very difficult for Wildcats to play.
Into the river, still half HP on the Maokai. And there's a chance he can look for a mid gank here, because that Lisandra is very far up. Decides not to take the risk, just puts a ward over the wall, wanting to spot the Wukong. And he simply lingers around, waiting for the top crab to spawn, because the truth is, he doesn't have anything to do. He's just patiently waiting, knowing his bot side is not going to be up for a little while. But he's alone, he doesn't have flash available, his teammate is nowhere near him.
Well, Elramir was able to secure it, but no flash for him means that he's going to fall. He gets the Scuttle Crab, but at what cost? Zwyroo takes the kill, and Heretics are already on the board 1-0 to the good. He's trying to do the same thing. It's hard not to say Zwyroo, you know, the CSGO player. It's hard not to just say that. Nature's Guard's coming down towards this bottom side. The hook landing as well, and Marlon dived in, but just dies for it. Absolutely decimated by the Istanbul Wildcats. A great combination. You know, if you can get the soul, it does give you that little bit of extra power when it comes to team fighting, and both these teams will thrive in a team fight. Flakked's going to take a bit of damage there from the long-range gun. Calibum, I believe it's called, there on the Aphelios. Kofte TPing in. You can see the Wildcats want to fight. You know, Kofte is actually named after the meatballs. That's where he got his IGN from, because Kofte is a type of meatball in Turkey. It's Flakked, chunked out here, Moonlight Visual coming out as well. Flash away, 1-for-1 trade so far in the mid lane. Zwyroo is able to get one in response, but he will fall forward, and the Wildcats pounce. They're breaking free from this slow early game. They managed to pick up 2 kills. bluerzor still alive, though, does have the smite. And for the moment, it actually looks like Heretics want to try and fight this. Destroyer is a little bit isolated down towards the bottom side. He's got a lantern from Parus. Flash in from bluerzor, gets onto Kofte, knocked back though with the Cyclone already. They're going to lose out on Marlon. Destroy coming in from the side as well. And this is a 2v4 that you've elected to take, Heretics. And that wasn't the best of ideas. I'm pretty sure now you regret your decision-making process. Parus flashes forward, a double for Kofte. And it might not only be the Drake now for the Wildcats, they could turn to Baron to boot.
I will realize it's really late that he has to get out of there, but there's nothing to do, and he ends up explain. Now, obviously, if we look in the bottom left corner of our screens, we can see Wildcats rushing Baron, already securing them. Kofte is very low. Heretics is going to try to chase him down. That meatball has now been devoured by a very angry Lisandra, and he's going to be enjoying a grey screen for 40 seconds. The tree was cut down by Flakked as well, and now, sure.
Jumping out, now W's going to be down for about 6 seconds more. The Dragon at 6,000. Wildcats might try and burst it out. Another hook coming out from Parus. Ibu going in as well. Zwyroo steals it away. How the flip did you manage to do that? There's no way in hell that Zwyroo should be able to steal that one away. He's the mid laner for damn sake. Actually, no, he may have stolen Smite off Unsealed Spellbook. I didn't spot that. But in that case, incredible play from the mid laner from Heretics. I mean, even if he didn't, still incredible play from him. But I think maybe he had an unsealed spellbook.
Of course, this game is really important, because if they win, they're going to be tied with Heretics and battling for the throne in the group once again. One guy that we need to keep an eye out for here when Heretics slowly start moving into the Baron area is Parus on the Thresh. He's been on point with the hook so far, and if he can land another one here, there's good chances.
Zwyroo going in. Oh, Parus with a great play. pulls Zwyroo out of it. The Cyclone used by bluerzor as he looked for a little bit more damage, but he can't quite find it. And now Ivo is on the retreat. Flakked diving all the way over the wall, surfing his way away from the battle. But now the Baron started by the Istanbul Wildcats. Zwyroo, no smite for him. He's going to have to burn flash switch to smite or do something to get in there. Can't secure it. He goes in, frozen tombs himself. The hook going down onto Ivo once again. Marlon trying to dive away, but Bao is untouched throughout the entirety of this fight. It's a double for Bao, and he puts around the hula hoop of death, destruction, and decimation for Heretics. Flakked, the last man standing, would be a pure 1v5 performance if he could do something out of it. Gets 2, but can't get any more.
2 decides not to do it. For it, his team is going to get called out, and you know, gives him a chance to try to poke Heretics as they walk in as well. Heretics get some base vision out of the area, but here comes Parus with the hook once again. Keep your eyes
look at the flank. Like, Destroy's on the back line. He's immune. He pops the stopwatch already. Ivo's down. That's your tank dying before the fight even really begins for the Istanbul Wildcats. A double for Bao now. Marlon down to 150 HP. Flakked forced away. bluerzor forced away as well. And even though the dragon is now up, it's the nexus in the eyes of the Wildcats. After losing to Gike in game 1, I think a lot of people thought that Turkey, even as a region, may not be at the level that everyone expected. But now bouncing back, striding back against the LVP, the TCL will claim their second win and give us a 3-way tie at the top of Group A.
Beautiful comeback from the Wildcats, really. They were in a very, very tough position at the start of the scheme, but